officers.
Well, look, law enforcement officers have a tough job. They put their lives on the line every day. They make these snap judgments. It's a difficult job, no question about it. But it's what we rely on them to do, Jane, is to put their emotions to the side and behave professionally at all times. So it appears that this would be completely unprovoked, that he was laying on the ground, not doing anything to be a threat to the officer. All of that said, though, Jane, these officers have to take some context into the situation. So they've got a guy that they know has a violent past, is physically larger. We don't know exactly what the conversation was between the officer and him and why the officer felt threatened if he did. So this may not be as open and shut as it would appear on that videotape.
I want to go out to Seamus Mahoney. You are the attorney for the man who was kicked, the man on the ground. Now, of all the things that I've read about this case, as I've studied it today, the thing that disturbs me perhaps the most is that the officer reportedly in the police report does not mention kicking him. Your thoughts, Seamus?
Well, a couple of things come to mind. First of all, this is not uncommon in this neighborhood that we're talking about. This is a poor black neighborhood. This park was filled with children, filled with people. The behavior of the officer, as your other guest said, was without any regard for the people that were present, especially the children. So the facts is that Mr. Hightower was walking down the street sunny afternoon with his cousin. The officer apparently is looking for him on an allegation of stalking, an allegation of making some sort of terroristic threats. I can talk about his history if you want to, but we'll just continue for where we are. The officer steps out of his car, yells at him to lie down. That's one yell. They don't know who he's actually speaking to. The cousin and he separate. The officer says it the second time. At the same time, he has unholstered his mace and just gets him right in the face. Mr. Hightower lays on the ground. He does what he's told. Lay down. He's done that. The officer, as he lays there retching, throwing up the mace and having his physical reaction, pulls out his taser. Now, the officer, not this officer, but other St. Paul police officers, had tased him in another arrest for the charges that you talked about earlier with the taser, and he ended up in the